Hello and welcome out to this episode of Gamers Council. I'm your host, David Anthony, along with RHETRI. RHETRI, welcome, buddy. What's up?
What's up, guys? Welcome everybody to another episode of Gamers Council, and we got Asante back again for a second time. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. No, I'm doing great. I've been hanging out at the beach. Been hanging out with the family, which all means I've just been holding on to my phone watching IOP all day. But I'm here. Here we go.
Yeah,
I'm happy to be here, guys. It was good to see you on there, Web Dave. I was rooting for you. I was like, yes, he's on the big show, baby.
That's I was great. Surprised. I was so grateful. I was like, he's like, yeah, we won't have you on. I was like,
absolutely, that's awesome.
Okay,
bro.
cool.
Awesome. Yes.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah, they are.
And congratulations to them on 300 episodes and hopefully 3,000 more.
Absolutely, yes. I sent them a super chat. We are standing on the shoulders of giants. Absolutely, they are the mecca for me anyway. So I think they're absolutely
right there with you. I totally agree. And I tell you, I had a lot of fun on there, and it was just so many amazing people, and it was nice because you could tell just how many people, not only in the chat, but in the community that they touch. With
how many podcasts do you go on where there's 10 people waiting and there's the father of Xbox Series X next to like the PlayStation, known as the PlayStation Zealots, next to the Xbox hardhead, and they're all there to pay respect. That is ultimate respect right there. I was like, yo, this is amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was sitting there going, I should just back out. Maybe I'm not supposed to be here.
No, you should be like, guys, interview, please. So many who's who in there. Like, it was amazing.
I did call, and hopefully you didn't get mad at me for it, but I did call Lord Addict out because he's the only Iron Lord that I haven't interviewed yet.
There you go.
He's hard to get a hold of. So so I was just kind of like, hey, just a public plea while I'm on. And he laughed.
While you're here.
Yeah, exactly. And I know you guys see. I wish I brought it in here with me, but I don't have it in here now. But they have King always does his little thing with the cup, a little advertisement type thing.
Yeah.
And at the end, I pulled up a cup that I had my wife, real sweetheart that she is, put on their 300 episodes and held it up and thing, and then King got a big kick out of that.
Nice.
So he goes, I got to copyright that. So anyway, and sorry about getting distracted there. Oh man, welcome everybody out, man. This is so great. Look at all these people in the chat already.
Yeah,
so
thanks
many
for coming
great
out,
members
guys.
of the community. Let me tell everybody real quick. So, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
But I want to make sure everybody knows because Asante has used this feature before, and it works really good. And it was a super question that he did, and I greatly appreciate that. But I want to make sure everybody else knows that we do have this option, which is the Speak Pipe. And it's free to use. I'm going to put a link up right now for you guys if you want to click on it. If you want to be a part of the show, we don't have super chats, but you can ask a question in the chat. You're absolutely more than welcome to do that, and we'll try and get to you as fast as we can. And we do and we try and pop them up on the screen. This is kind of a community base. That's why it's the council, and you guys are all part of the council. Just want everybody to know that. And but if you want to leave a recorded message, then we'll play it. Keep it friendly, please. But anyway, just want to make sure everybody knows that that's available. And RHETRI, what we got on start off tonight?
Well, I'm going to start off by just kind of warm ups. What are you guys playing for games lately? Start with UK. What's been keeping you busy?
So let's see what I've been playing for games. Actually, and I guess in the theme of the ILP, we might as well call a fraud alert on me. Because for a while, myself and Web Dave were going back and forth. We had a conversation in the background, and actually, I think on a few shows where we were just talking about it, and I couldn't see it. But now, after owning one,
seeing the light
with it for a little bit, for a little while, I got to say I see it. I do see it. Oh,
okay.
I see it. Yes, I do. I still think it's too expensive. I bought this for one for $199, even which is considerably cheaper than most. But I still think if it was like $150, probably be better, right? Like or $99, that'd be like the sweet spot. But I have been playing nonstop on this thing, and mainly I have been playing Ghostwire Tokyo, oddly enough.
Nice.
And it's been pretty darn cool playing on this thing. And of course, being what I am, I've also been playing Super Mario Brothers, Super Mario World on this thing when I have no internet connection. So it is what it is. What are we gonna do? But yes, that's been keeping me busy actually all week. I've been trying to see if I can find the latency, and for the most part, I cannot. It works so well. It's absolutely great.
Wow.
You know,
cool.
Yeah. It does start like with Ghostwire. It starts like by default in the quality mode, and I know we're going to be talking about quality. Versus, performance.
We can talk about that. Yeah,
yeah. So like by default, it gives you it kind of puts its worst foot forward. It's a little bit choppy and all that, right?
100%.
But then you go into the settings and you switch it, and you're just like, hey, okay, this is more manageable and good, and you know the battery life on this thing is pretty great. So I've been spending an unusual amount of time playing right here. You know, I didn't initially believe that somebody could just get a Game Pass subscription and have one of these and just be done. But now, while I still won't do that, right? I love my PC, and my PC parts are right there. I'm going to build a nice machine.
That's right, the build, nice. Yeah. Yes.
But if you happen to be a person and all you have is this guy right here, right? You just have this guy, and you have your Game Pass subscription and XCloud. You're still happy. You know, it's actually not bad. It's pretty good. I am now the converted. So there you go. That's what I've been playing.
What's the? I can't remember. What was the MSRP? Was that $300 out the gate for the Logitech?
$350.
Oh shit! Really?
The introductory was $300, which was terrible. And then MSRP was $350, which was even worse. I got that for $199, which is mildly inappropriate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it was $150, I'd be like, we in there. If it was $99, it's a steal, you know. But it is what it is.
I feel like 200 ain't. I don't know. I feel like that's okay. Like I wouldn't feel bad about that purchase. I think 200 is. I would definitely grab that for 200.
I just happened to find it for that $199, so I'm just like, okay, bye. You know, and it's actually pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah.
Right.
I tell you, and the nice thing about it is you can put memory card in it. You can have games on there that you can play when you're not on the cloud.
So
like
I will just recommend that anyone and everyone who has an opportunity to, if you happen to have yourself one of these things, there's a front end piece of software called Daigisho. Invest in it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful thing. I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Oh, you showing emulators right now? Oh,
well, no. I'm showing a front end that shows pretty pictures. Stop.
Pretty pictures.
It's a front end that shows pretty pictures. What's behind them? We won't go there. Yes.
You know, what's behind this door? Oh man,
but no, it's really good. It's so ergonomic. The controller itself, I'm not a fan of. If you start doing
that's kind of what I heard.
Yeah, if you start doing the tests, you'll see that the dead zones are terrible. You'll see that it's not quite there. But unless you're like hardcore into Street Fighter, you won't have a problem. This is good. This is good. You know.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Nice balance. You know, and something quick and dirty. That's what kind of throw it in the bag and go.
If I drop it, I won't cry as much as if I drop my Steam Deck.
Right. You feel a pain in your side.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I can hand these to the kids. Is the point?
Right.
Play that for a while. Just don't drop it.
You're right.
Boy, you bottom me. Yeah.
That's right.
So Dave, are you playing any games right now?
Yeah. Well, I play Ghostwire Tokyo. That was a lot of fun. I'm enjoying that. Still haven't gotten through that. I downloaded the newest add-on to Vampire Survivors, and now starting to get through. There's a lot to get through on that now. So but that's basically what I've been playing. Been doing a lot of other things behind the scenes, trying to work on my editing skills a little. I don't have your skills by any means, so
we'll get you there.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, but that's it. That's about it. You?
I've been Ghostwire, man. Well, for me, it's weekends is multiplayer, so I can play with the community. So that's always COD, that's always Fortnite. That's been pretty steady. And Ghostwire, and I have to say, I agree with Kay. I when I started Ghostwire, I actually thought I was going to hate that game because I thought the controls and the camera movement was that bad, because I think it is that bad. I agree with Kay. Like, they put their worst foot forward, like right off the bat. So I looked up some settings and stuff, and I adjusted them to myself, and I sent out a tweets to help other people, because once I put in performance mode and tweaked all the camera movements and stuff, it's night and day. It's a completely different game. Like, it made the combat that was kind of janky and weird. Like I just couldn't get on the guys. I couldn't zero on them and aim. What a huge difference. What a huge difference. So if you guys haven't seen that tweet from me, go check it out on GamePass_daily and look up the settings for Ghostwire. I promise you it's going to help you. I did update it because when you pull the bow, I had that too high. I cranked that all the way down to like 20. So there's updated settings out on Twitter if you guys want to check that out. And I think you should give Ghostwire a chance, guys. The game is so beautiful. It is so pretty. I mean, I got a top-of-line TV, so that definitely helps. But it's a gorgeous game.
Even on this thing, it's pretty darn good looking, right? I was talking to Everborn, who was like, "Oh, it's not a showpiece." I'm like, "Spend some time. It's quite."
I don't know, man. It kind of feels like a showpiece to me. I mean, I'm looking at it, you know.
And on the OLED, when it's raining and the ray tracing's going, it is glorious looking. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it really is.
I think they did that on purpose, where it rain like there must be like a rain cycle in the game because it rains a lot and then it stops. So you can almost like take screenshots, and there's a photo mode. So I think the rain in Tokyo with the neon lights reflecting, the neon lights reflecting off the street was a good idea for them to add rain. Good excuse. Plus it rains a lot there. So yeah, I like it. But let's dive into the BS that is, unfortunately, I know probably people are a little sick of this, but the Redfall 30 FPS issue, I guess we can call it an issue. All right, I'm actually gonna start with you, Dave.
What? Me?
What? Yeah, I'm gonna start with you.
Okay.
What are your thoughts about the Redfall? I don't know if you want to call it a fiasco or whatever, but them having to patch it out to get to 60 frames. Do you care? Does this bother you? We've done several polls online between Clobrio, myself, and other people. It seems like majority of folks have answered frames matter over resolution. But I also made a video myself saying we need to calm down, guys. Not everyone's going to like what I like. Not everyone gives a crap about frames. A lot of people I talk to will go right to the resolution mode. They'll completely ignore performance. But what are your thoughts? What do you think about this Redfall situation that's going on?
Well, my take is that I want to be able to play a game. And I think I get, like, I know, like, Randall Thor 19, Colt, and a lot of others have voiced opinions that that say, like, well, if I'll either play it on PC or I'll wait until it comes to console before I actually play it, the 60 frames. That they don't want to have to play through it, and then it comes out and it's like, oh man, they should have had this at the beginning. And I get that. I do. Because, I mean, you play games the way you want to play games and the way you want them. And I personally, this particular game, I don't know. I think I'm going to be okay with it at the. It's 4-player co-op, and it's not like, like, I don't know, 16 on 16 or 20 on 20 or something like that. Where it seems like the frame rates and I don't know. It just seems like that would be. I get that, and it is. They say it is coming. But they haven't put a date on to when it's coming. So, but that's kind of my take on is that I'm okay with it. I'm not gonna not play it because to me it's included in Game Pass, so I'm gonna jump on it right away. Well, I feel like, oh, this could be better. Well, I won't be able to really compare that until it comes out. Now, like my TV in the living room, where I play a lot of my gaming, it can go up to 120 hertz. So I get it, and it's a 75-inch. It's nice. So I do get that, but I think I can still play it on my little G and still enjoy it as well. So that's basically where I'm at, and as we get to Kay's response on this, because I'm interested as to what his opinion on this. I'm going to drop a poll in, and the poll is going to be, would you rather have? And then there's 4 choices. Well, 3 choices and 1 I don't care. Let's see what we're we're gonna leave that up for quite a while. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
ask in the community. The poll is now in there, and yes, Kay, you can ask on that too.
I know what my answer is. I'm just gonna vote right now. Yeah. So, Kay, I know you've talked about this extensively. But for anyone new who's haven't heard your piece on it, what do you think, brother? What
This might
what do you
be
think about
the
this?
most as concise as I can be with it. Okay.
Here we go.
I'm of three minds on this one, and some of them,
Like bipolar twice.
clearly, because some of them folks will understand, and others they're gonna throw the pitchforks at me, and you're welcome to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm of three minds on this. Okay. Mind number one, they sold you on the most powerful console. They did. Right. And you talk to the tech guys, the schmucks like me, and we'll say, yup, on paper, when you see it, yes, it is. It is the most powerful console. When that thing was first literally released and it was first spec'd out, it was roughly a $1,200 PC, which is still the case by and large. Like the Series S right now, the retail equivalent of that CPU costs more than the entire Series S to this day, right? So they sold you on the world's most powerful console. And now I've also heard talk that, this is their first party. If anyone should be the one to show out, it should be your first party. And why the hell are you doing this? Why are you not giving us what you've promised of us, right?
Right.
I get that, right? And shout out to Mr. Boomstick Excel if he's in here, or when he comes in here, it's what he calls it. It's the two M's, the marketing and the messaging. Right?
Right.
You put it out there, you made promises, and now you must make good. And they're not making good, and it's frustrating to some, and I get that, right? I get it. That's one mind. Mind number two is the technologist that understands that if you think about it, none of these games we're talking about were built as Xbox games. And if you listen to any developer speak, right? If you listen to anybody dig deep into the development, and I love listening to people talk tech, getting really deep in there. Cheap plug, check out the Fox on my show over the weekend. He went hardcore into deep tech talk, and I loved it. You learn something new every time.
You want to get your geek on? Go watch the last show of K's. It is for an ex-engineer.
Awesome.
I was in heaven. It was so good.
You know,
Mr. Boomstick is here, by the way.
Oh, shout out to you, Mr. Boomstick. Absolutely. Loved seeing you on ILP this afternoon, by the way. Absolutely awesome as usual. So when you listen to people speak speeds and feeds, and you listen to the developers talk, the first thing you'll know from them is the first decision you make is the most important, right? The reason why Cyberpunk never ever hit the amazing heights that they should have hit is that their first decision was to keep the Jaguar cores in the last gen in mind. Right. And no matter how far you go in the deep direction, you could be 20 years down the line in development. That first decision you made shapes everything. Right.
Right.
So think about it. If you start this game as a third party, right, and you have to make it third party, meaning everywhere, right?
Right.
You are trying to hit the highest population possible. What does third party mean in the world we live today? That means PlayStation. That's what that means. Because there are more PlayStation gamers than there are any other kind in the console space. If we're not talking Switch, which the Abacus has its own thing and has its own millions of people following. So we're not going to talk about that. But if you're talking third party, that is AKA PlayStation gamers, right? Now, there are so many crazy, interesting tools that can be brought to bear to keep resources down on the Xbox and also on PC. But the outlier is the market leader who doesn't have the same features. I'm talking about mesh shaders and things of that nature, right? They don't employ that at a hardware level on their system. So if you're a third party, you're not going off in the Xbox direction and making that work.
You're doing it through the software.
Mid-development when you become an Xbox first-party studio. At that point, what do you expect them to do? Throw it all away and start from scratch? Because that's the only way they'd be able to start using those features properly. So what did they decide to do? Well, we're going to continue forward in our development, right, until we eventually finish, and then we'll double back and possibly fix things, right? So for those who are upset because of what Boomstick calls the two M's, right, the marketing and the messaging, you are absolutely right. But that context of it really matters. Starfield was not made as a first-party game. Redfall was not made as a first-party game. If you want to give them smoke for not using the actual benefits of that hardware, you're gonna have to wait till the next game, not this one, right?
Yeah.
This one, they'll do their best to make it work as a first-party, but it started off as a third-party game, and that's what it will be forever, unless you expect them to go, oh yeah, that 2-3 years we're talking about. No, make that 5 years, because now we have to scrap the whole project because it's not third-party anymore. We're first-party. We're gonna start from scratch and use mesh shaders. It will be better. It would look better. It'd run like a dream on Series S and X and be amazing. But you'd have to wait far longer for that to happen. So what they're doing is doing the best they have with what they've got and moving forward, right?
Yeah.
It sucks, the context, but it's true, right? And the third mind that I have, where the pitchforks were going to come for me, is if you want the speeds and feeds, son, get yourself a PC. I'm sorry. Okay, there is this meme that I reluctantly hate to employ, but I've been putting it in DMs left and right. People are laughing every time I do. I don't want to catch the flack, but there's this thing where there's a bunch of people in a circle and they all have PCs on their heads, and you see two monkeys in the center, and it's Xbox and PlayStation, and they just keep throwing like chum at them to fight. You know, a console is inherently a compromise, right?
Yeah.
A console
100%.
is Netflix. You give up the real 4K for convenience. That's what you do, right? People forget that if you put in a Blu-ray, that 4K will blow your mind compared to what you watch on Netflix all the time.
100%.
But you don't know that because you're just so used to watching Netflix, and you go, it's great. But I will never watch The Matrix on Netflix because what you lose is insane.
Yeah.
But it's convenience, right? If you are such a speeds and feeds dude, there's a device for you. It's called a PC.
Yeah.
It just is. I'm sorry. Yeah. Throw the tomatoes at me. I'm sorry, but it's true. You know,
well, the truth. You know what? The truth hurts some of these people.
It does. I joke at people and I say, "This is Honda Civic problems you're talking about. My Honda Civic is faster than yours," while the Tesla people are going, yeah,
exactly.
Okay, yeah. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
I'm sorry. You know, but that's how I feel about it. And but let me be clear: no one feeling upset about it has no right to be upset. Because they promised you
exactly
things, right? And that's their problem, right? They promised you things. Oh, and by the way, I see Michael Williams in the chat. No, PS5 and PC is not the case, because the difference with PS5, and that's to their credit, no shade at PS5. The reason for that is, since they are the market leader, it is incumbent on you as a third party to make it shine their best, because that's where most people will play it. You understand?
Because you're the market leader.
It's because you're the market leader. If Microsoft was the market leader, you would see this thing like scream on the Series S. It would run 120 frames per second. Why? Because they would spend the time necessary to make it shine on the Series S. As they started as a third party, they don't have time for that, because most people in their mind when they started were going to play it on where most people play, which is the PlayStation 5. Now all of a sudden you get bought out and you're a first party. That means the next game you make is where you'll start going, well, let's make the Series S become the showpiece. It's just the context that sucks. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Retri, before you jump in, there's a couple of chats I gotta highlight.
Go.
And I'm gonna need you to read them.
Bring them on out. By the way, hey, IGN intern, welcome back, brother.
No, read this one first.
All right. Jim Ryan's first party GoFundMe account.
Wow, what a name.
That's a long name. Mr. Boomstick, where were you on the picket line with me to block the merger? We can't survive without COD finances. That's true, Jimmy. You're in trouble.
Sorry,
you're going
Jim boy.
down. The ship is going down. IGN intern, good evening, gentlemen. Welcome back, IGN intern. Good to see you. Don't play any Xbox first-party games, please. Thank you. Double Bear
Shout out to
Gaming,
Mr.
welcome all.
Boomstick.
Yep. One and all.
For being here.
Yeah.
And so there's a couple more real quick.
Sure. IGN intern. Again, I'm so sorry for my gameplay. We'll do better next time. Appreciate it.
And then
Jim Ryan's first party GoFundMe account. Thank you, IGN intern, for sabotaging the gameplay. If I can't have COD, I'll take Scorched Earth instead.
Okay,
right.
that's enough of those. But
I
oh my
love you.
God,
Hey,
those were so
I know who's doing that. I appreciate it. I love the slander. So
You
I'm
guys are
here for
genius.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what I heard out of Kay's entire conversation there was that the PS5's the new potato is what I heard. So there you go.
Could be at some point.
It's no longer the Series S. It's no longer the Spud. It's PS5's fault. So there you go. Run with that, guys.
I will say some of the smoke that is absolutely righteous, and that is so righteous, is you know that you're not using the features that you could have on the Series S and X. Sure. Why do you target native 4K instead of 1440p? Why do you target 1440p on Series
Why is it gotta be native even? Like, get rid of native. Get native out of the conversation, guys.
So
Stop with the native.
That's why when folks have all this slander and I can't like wholeheartedly stomp down the negativity, because even the end user consumer who doesn't know much about the speeds and feeds can see where you're screwing up here. You prioritize quality over performance. That's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So obviously my take is I'm a 60 FPS guy. I want it. I probably wasn't as angry because I have a PC and I'm going to get all those frames. But if I was just a console only guy, I would have a bigger problem with this. Being a techie guy, I know what the machine can do. I know what it's capable of. I know more time. Obviously, we're getting the patch, right? So there's no doubt it can happen because it is happening. So at least there's good news in that regard. I just hope that we don't. I'm hoping it's not like 3 months down the line. I'm hoping it's like a week or two later. Because I think people are just gonna kind of forget about the patch and maybe not care about it as much after the fact if it takes too long. But yeah, so I'm a 60 FPS guy. We got to remember, my truth is not your truth. You know what I mean? Like me caring about wanting 4K 60 does not mean that you do, or does not mean that you have to. And I will argue for 60 FPS the whole time. What are you laughing at, Dave? Is there any more fun comments you want to throw out there? Okay. All right, Mr. Jim Ryan. If you buy a PS5, you can get Redfall at 60 FPS at 4K through YouTube. For the players. Yeah. Appreciate it.
Slander.
So yeah, that's where I stand. Do you guys think, I mean, obviously I don't think this is happening, but do you guys think they should have delayed it even further? Redfall?
I think so. I think and Everborn just like he and I were talking about it, and in his opinion, the noose around their neck that they just keep tightening further and further is this promise of 12 months, right? And because of that, you just have to come out, hey, you got to release, you can release a patch later. You have to release. And what makes it even worse is, and I've heard a lot of people talk about, the console's becoming a second-class citizen. Like, people are like righteously upset about that.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's not that the console is becoming a second-class citizen. The console just takes more TLC, and the PS and on PC, you can be cheap and say, this is what it is. Your hardware can handle it or it can't. Bye. That's what they're doing here, right? And if you don't have a monster machine, you're going to have a horrible time of it. And that's just the way it is, right? The console is not becoming a second-class citizen. It just takes more time, and in the here and now, they're not taking that time for one reason or another. I think they should have delayed it, right? I really do. I think they should have delayed it.
I do too.
But it's just unfair. The whole thing is a little bit weird because, like, on the PlayStation
win either way,
side,
though, right?
Yeah, you can't. You're
not winning that.
Absolutely. On the PlayStation side, they get to put captured on PlayStation because that's their primary platform, right?
Right.
On Xbox, they can kind of be shady about it, show you the best fidelity, show you the best stuff, and then later it was on a 4090, and they can say, well, Xbox is a platform. It was on a PC, but that's also part of the platform, right? It's kind of So I think to solve this problem, by and large, we as the consumer base need to advocate for, give us that print. Where was this featured? You can still show it in the best light, but it needs to say captured on Series S. It needs to say captured on PC because they're all part of the platform. I get you, right? If you go right now to Redfall and you check the specs on the Xbox app on my PC,
I was literally just going to mention that. It did. They changed it. Okay.
And they changed
They
it because of all the static, right?
And we got the receipts, guys. So anyone who says that it was like this is just it's just a patch or whatever, it was there, and we have proof. It was there, and they took it out because I think they were just like crap, like running out of time, and it could have just been that it wasn't running at a straight 60, like maybe there was too many dips, you know what I'm saying? Which is fine. Like, I rather, at least we're getting the patch. There's light at the end of the tunnel. So, does it stink? Yeah, for guys who like specs like me, and for guys like Dave, it didn't even matter. See, that's what I'm trying to get at here. There's two camps here, right? And I think we're all
like
right.
Us who like the speeds and feeds, do you or do you not have a PC that can handle it, sir?
I have a PC. I mentioned in my video. I even said, I was like, this isn't, I said, this isn't going to bother me as much because I have a solution.
But do you see why Microsoft chose what they chose? Because those of us who care go, oh, well, I guess I'm playing this on PC. And those of us who and I know I say that and it pisses people off. I'm sorry, right? But if you really, really, really care about them speeds and feeds, you're buying a PC.
There's a place for you.
That's so funny. Exactly.
It's
I apologize.
Oh no, don't apologize. That's hilarious.
No, I'm apologizing for the virtual tomatoes that are going to be thrown at me later about this. I'm sorry. It just is.
Well, it's a good thing you like tomatoes. Got to eat your vegetables.
That's right.
I'll do a quick shout out to some of the people in chat. Talos Shooter 2853. We got MacBound. We have Def Leppard. We have RJS Fan. I mean, there's so many more, and we greatly appreciate it. Galveston is here. King Webb.
Yep, it's my brother.
Man, we appreciate you guys. Johnny Ravioli. I like that one. Of course, Jim Ryan's first party GoFundMe account. That one's pretty good. I like that one.
Johnny Ravioli. I don't think I've seen that one before.
I haven't either. And welcome.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it is. Wolf of Darkness. And there's so many good names. If I don't get you to your name, please don't take offense. Of course, and Double Barrel Gaming, which is Mr. Boomstick, and we also want to thank Asante for being here tonight on tonight's show. Man, we put up the bat signal and he answers. I'm just gonna get that meme and I'm just gonna send it to you every couple of weeks.
Every time. It's all good. It's all good.
You'll know what it means, right? That's right. That's awesome. And Big Mad Mo, thanks, Big Mad Mo, and Goat Review.
What's up, man?
There's so many great people in here, and we appreciate each and every one of you. And if you guys have a question that you want to ask Asante or RHETRI or just as in general, please put it in chat and say, hey, question, and then just put it in there, and we'll try and get it up here on the screen where we can get everybody. Like I said, we appreciate you being here. We do have the option to people can go on and they can we have the link in our description below, but they can send us a voicemail through SpeakPipe. You can actually have your voice on the show. Asante demoed that for us last week's show, which was great.
I will say it's an easy process. It's pretty cool. It lets you do it and then lets you listen to it back. And if you sound like a schmuck, you can do it again.
Right.
It's all good. I did it like 3 times.
That's a very good point, Kay. Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you don't like what you just put down, delete it. I've done the same thing on other people's shows.
It's really good.
Yeah. So it's a great option.
It's nice to do. Another twist that it's on the title card. In fact, I'm gonna throw the title card up here real quick. But the second part to our question is I'll get that comment up there. Sorry about that. Is that does this raise any doubts about Starfield? What do you think, Kay and RHETRI? What do you think Starfield is going to come in at? What are your feelings?
I'll let you go, Kay. I decided this a long time ago, so I'm just curious where Kay's going with this.
Okay. So first and foremost, Redfall is the first time that Arcane is using the Unreal Engine 4, right? They were big on the Void engine, so all that might be part of the stew that ended up being where we are. We know that the Creation engine has always been what Bethesda proper uses for their game engines and their development, and they say it's a newer, revised version, and by all accounts, everything we've seen so far speaks to that, right?
Right.
So I was initially a little presumptuous in thinking it would be 60 frames because people want that, it's new hardware and all of that. I am now not so presumptuous, and it's not necessarily because of Redfall. It's actually because if you pay attention to their history, right? If you pay attention to their history, I'm talking your Skyrims. I'm talking, I think even Fallout 4, all the Fallouts, not all of them, but the recent Fallouts, they are all 60 frames repaired by the community. And then later down the line, it's almost like they go, well, it seems to work well once the community fixes it. We'll incorporate that into the stew, and then they'll release an update that makes it 60 frames. They consistently don't release these games, their games, at 60 frames. They release them at 30, right? And then later on the line, some intelligent community members go in there, add a mod that unlocks it and makes it 60 frames. Now, of course, when they do that, it's a hodgepodge and it causes weird issues. And then eventually,
it's definitely going to cause issues,
right? Eventually, Bethesda gets around to it. We were hoping, because all of the lip service that had been paid to the latest iteration of that creation engine, that we now live in the future. But again, as I said when we started this whole conversation, Redfall and Starfield were started as third-party games, right? Yep. AKA PlayStation games. So don't know now. It's a little smoky. Now, if Starfield releases at 30 frames per second, that will not surprise or worry or upset me at all.
Yeah.
It will not, because they have a history of doing so, right? They really do. They have a history of doing so.
All right.
If the next iteration from Arcane, if a game where pen hit pad and they were in Xbox's stable also starts at 30, then I got some pitchforks for you, right?
Okay.
What are we talking about? What's his name? What the heck is the name of the Senua's Saga, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that was started from Xbox, like once Xbox, because if I'm not mistaken, at the time, Ninja Theory. I always get that.
I do the same thing all the time. Yeah, Ninja Theory.
Yeah, Ninja Theory was doing a VR version of the first version. That's what came out literally right when they were sold, when Microsoft bought them, and they were teetering on the brink at that time as far as being open is concerned. I'm sure they were in pre-production at some point. I'm sure they had a plan to go to the next one at some point. But you can say, fully that game was a game that was created under Xbox's umbrella. If that comes out at 30, I'll have some shade. I will, because at that point you have your eye on one ball, right? You can say the console is the fastest, the greatest console ever, but if you lock a freaking Lamborghini to 40 miles an hour, it's still a Lamborghini going at 40 miles an hour.
Right.
You have every ability to use those features at that point, because there's no excuse. You can't say that there was a murky PlayStation version. And no, you were first party at that point, right? So to the point of Starfield, because of the scope potentially, because of the history of it, because of, all those reasons, and Redfall being a factor in the equation, it makes me go possibly 30. And I'll be okay with that. There's always PC.
It's like you're trying to get slander.
I'm here for the PCMR smoke today. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Smile on that face.
There you go.
I love it.
All right.
Go ahead, RHETRI.
I'll go. For me, I kind of agree with Kay, but I don't give them a pass because of their history. I'm just gonna say, like, just to be like a jerk about it, I don't give a crap about what they did in the past. For me, this is kind of like, we got new hardware. This is the future. But at the same time, Starfield's a very different game. Like, I have a problem, and the world is not black and white, right? This is very gray for me. I have a problem with Redfall not being 60. I do not have a problem with Starfield being 30 because of the type of game that it is and the scope. I think the scope is just insane. I've not been in the 60 frame per second for Starfield camp ever. I never thought it was going to be 60, to be honest with you. I just think it's too astronomical of a game to expect that personally. And maybe, I'll get hate for that. But, for me, Starfield, 30, that's okay. Redfall, not okay. You know what I mean? Not every game, I think, has to have the exact same specs. I would love everything to have 60. Who the heck wouldn't? Of course, you ask anyone that, they're gonna, I would like to have the option at least, right, to go from 4K 30 to 1440p 60 or whatever the heck. But yeah, when it comes to Starfield, I give him a pass. I guess.
I mean,
I'll give you a pass.
FSR 2.1 is out here, and if you implement it well, you can hit high frame rate. Nobody needs to go native.
Yeah, you get an
anymore,
extra 15
you know?
you get an extra like 15 frames right there. So
There you go. Right.
Yeah, maybe they will. Hey, if I'm wrong, I would. That's a great L to take. If it's 60, I'll be so happy. But
I'd be happy for that too. Absolutely.
I'm probably gonna be playing on the PC anyway, so I can go 120 frames. So
See,
there's
this
that.
is happening right now. I'm sorry.
I know. It's a different conversation when you have multiple platforms that you can play it on. So
Absolutely.
it's hard.
And
It's
for
harder
those,
for me to be angry.
For those who are PCMR shaming me at this point, I've been playing even though I have a PC that can handle it, I've been playing most of Ghostwire Tokyo right here. Because in some games, the convenience matters. It's just awesome. I'm just this close. You don't see, at this size screen. It's great. I just take it with me. Kids are yelling. I'm like, stop that. And I'm playing some more. It's a that's it. You know what I mean? So
yes.
It doesn't have to be, the biggest, baddest machine. Understand. Just like you're okay with Netflix. That's my best analogy I can come up with. Just like you're okay with Netflix making all your movies 4K-ish, you got to be okay with consoles, going for convenience rather than performance sometimes.
Yeah, I think like your point about Netflix too, Kay, is a lot of people, when you grow up with that stuff and you don't know any better, you don't even know what you're missing. You have no clue what it could look like unless, like you were saying, you had that Matrix 4K Blu-ray.
I have 15 Matrix 4K Blu-rays. I have I bought every variation of the trilogy at this point. I never watched that thing because to me it's one of the greatest movies ever.
It deserves it. I agree with you, Kay. I bought my first DVD player because of the Matrix. I went right out to Best Buy.
You know which first Blu-ray I bought because of the Matrix? The PlayStation. Because it was the best Blu-ray to buy.
Because it was the best version at the time.
Yes,
You're right.
yes,
That's very
absolutely.
true. Yeah.
And free upgrades and updates all the time to it.
All the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. Yeah. Dave, what do you think? Starfield.
Well, I'm going to go through some of the chat as I discuss my viewpoint. Right. So Todd Howard, when we first started talking about it, he's a big fan of 30. He really is.
Yeah. Yeah, okay? he is.
And we know that it'll definitely have a 30 mode for sure. We know that. Probably with some really nice, good looking, graphics to go along with that. And but like you said, it kind of depends on the game as to whether it needs it or not. If you're running around shooting people and you're running fast or you're driving fast, you want to have that frame rate super up there. And yes, it has a kind of a first, third person mode that's going to be
kind of an in-between game.
And it is going to have some parts where it's flying in space and look like you're having some dog fights and stuff. That'll be cool. That would probably look better in 60. But does it have to be? I mean, at some point, maybe, but I don't know. To start, would I not play it? No, that was not going to stop me from playing it if it's not 60. But that's just me, and it's not for everybody, and I get that. Can they make improvements? Who knows? Maybe this long delay is the fact that it's coming out at 60. Wouldn't that just absolutely? Oh man, the fanboys would be losing their mind if it's like we're all ready to jump on it, and it's like, what? It is 60. Oh,
yeah, that would be kind of nice. Yeah,
and a couple more of these I'll get through real quick. But Ghost reviews. Don't be surprised, guys, if GTA 6 is 30 frames per second when it comes out. Probably will be because it's a big open world, kind of thing. So yeah, and there was a couple more that I was gonna. And this is a good point too. Def Leppard made. Nothing Todd has said has suggested that it'll go higher than that. It's
he's
not
right.
He's
not wrong.
There's a lot of our wishful thinking that it's going to happen.
Yeah. I think we pushed a lot of. I think we pushed our. Well, that and the marketing team said 60 FPS. I mean, hey, You want to point fingers, you can point them at Aaron because it's there. He said it. You know what I mean? He did say this is the new standard.
He did.
I think that goes back to like Boom's point, right? With marketing and messaging is we get angry because the expectations were not set by me. Were not set by Kay. They were set by Microsoft and their engineering team that said we can do X, Y, Z. Like I said in my video, don't forget, and this is why you should never, ever, ever believe any marketing that comes out for a console. It had 8K on the box when I bought it. And me being a technical guy, I was like, this is complete BS. The fact that they put that, right, well, you're right. I know what it can do.
It's
what it could possibly do in the perfect world when all the planets align and you can push out 8K on the Series X at 10 frames if you want to. Like, you can do it. Maybe you use a cloud a little bit.
It hit a 60 frame. It hit 6K with the Tourist.
I forgot about that. That is true.
And also what's the other one? Ori, Will of the Wisp. Also, they super sampled it down, but it also hit 6K. So they do have some. But yeah,
that's
that was
true. I forgot about Ori.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, we got to remember too. This happens. This will happen. This has happened every generation and will happen every generation. Where I always find myself into the new generation 2 years in, everyone's bitching about why we don't have the best version of the games yet, because it always takes longer than that. And if you haven't had the opportunity to use that hardware because it's only been out for 2 years and was spec'd probably another 2 years before that, how are you going to do that? It's like Unreal Engine 4 to 5. Like the Unreal Engine 5 didn't exist that long ago, guys. So of course there's going to be a lot of games in UE4.
The only bit though where I try to calibrate people a little bit, because there is definitely smoke to be delivered, but calibrate it correctly for them. If it's third party, you got nothing to say but to the developer who made it, because all the features are there. It's up to those devs to use them. And remember, we've already established the ground that if you're a third party, you're trying your best to hit the biggest audience, which is not Xbox in general, right? But if it's first party, then the question is, why are you not setting the benchmark? That's where Microsoft smoke belongs, right? And and then of course Everborn will fight me and say, well, look at the ones that they've made in their stable. Forza, it does hit the benchmark. Right. Sea of Thieves, they do hit the benchmark. The ones that are in their stable solely have actually hit that benchmark. Flight Sim, the most insane thing known to man, because before the Series S, the equivalent of a PC you had to buy in order to play Flight Sim was like many consoles.
Yep.
Right? And now it plays in the cloud. It plays on your old a VCR, Xbox One. They hit the heights they need to when it's solely within their purview, right? So where I always try to tell people is, if you're calibrating your smoke, make sure it's solely within that first party camp, because that's where they need to be setting that benchmark, right?
Yeah. 100%.
I want to throw this out there too. First of all, welcome Mav from Fun Speculation jumping in, and we appreciate you being here, sir. Thank you so much. I'm going to end this poll real quick, but I also wanted to make a point. We're as Kay made probably the best point of the night so far. That the games that start out from scratch, in other words, that are like the first party games, probably what Aaron Law was referring to. Those are going to be the benchmark for the high end gaming, and like Kay said. And I get it, because people are like, it's first party, but it didn't start off as first party
5 minutes ago.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Starfield,
and that's
first party.
That's kind of was my point too. Is why I was mentioning Unreal Engine 5 as well, and when it came out versus and I completely, the truth hurts, because the average person doesn't give a crap. You said what you said. Where's my stuff? They know, and they shouldn't.
Where's my stuff? You promised me, right?
Right. Yeah. I was promised this, and you're not delivering that. But
Well, but
we know the minutia of the situation, right? So we know,
True.
like you were saying. So for us, it's more forgivable because we understand why it's happening. But the
Absolutely.
average person doesn't give a crap.
But
I'm gonna end this
to
poll
that
real
average
quick.
person though,
All right, go for it.
to that average person though, understand that Microsoft tends to listen closely and overcorrect. So you bet your bottom dollar the next
You're
one
right.
will be shiny, shiny, shiny because they heard you.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Richard, you want to read that poll? And
Sure. Yeah. Would you rather have the 14? So we got all the different. Wow. Okay. Yeah. See, this is kind of what I expected. So 1440p 60 FPS wins out. So, hey guys, welcome to PC gaming, because that's exactly what we all live in. It's the truth. We're all in 1440p. Almost every PC gamer I know lives in that world, right? And that's how we get those extra frames. So welcome. Let's hug. I don't care 17%, and I'm glad that 17% don't care, because that was kind of what my poll was showing as well, that some people don't give a crap, which is great. And then 4K 30, we got 5%, and 1080p 120%, 120 frames got 0%. See, here's the funny thing about Clobriel's. Just to mention his thing that had over 10,000 votes, by the way. So you're not talking about just the hardcore here. His 1080p 120 frames beat out the 4K 30. There was more people who would rather have had the 120 frames than 4K 30, which I thought was kind of surprising. Yeah, so that was kind of cool. Yeah, but yeah, thank you guys for doing that poll. Thank you everyone in the chat for being here tonight and dealing with my 60 FPS dream for Redfall. It's gonna happen though, so it's cool.
We'll have another poll here before we close out, so don't worry.
Yeah,
more,
for sure.
More coming.
Yeah, so I'm gonna glance over this real quick. I don't want to harp on this next subject too long, but that is the Axon versus the FTC and what that possibly means going forward. And why this is maybe good news for the Microsoft ABK merger in itself. And guys, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm still trying to understand the Axon versus FTC thing. Axon being a company that makes I think tasers and stuff for cops and maybe SWAT teams.
Arizona-based company. Yep.
Is it Arizona? Okay. So my understanding is that that the government basically, for the first time, Axon's been trying to do this for a while now. I think 4 other times, and this is the 5th time. They are basically pissed off at the FTC right now for, stretching out the decision for them to acquire another company. I think it was for body cams, if I'm correct.
They let it go for a long time.
So there was, we talked about this too. I talked about this on Boom's podcast about the FTC doing what I thought was a ploy of stretching this out. And they do this with smaller companies too when it comes to mergers, where they just stretch you out so you run out of money to pay the lawyers and you give up. And I think, if I'm correct on this, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, that's basically why Axon is going after the FTC right now, for that same type of situation where they're saying it's unconstitutional that this is happening. You guys are dragging this out. We need to change some laws here. And there's the whole side of the government being able to basically self-police. It's like the police policing the police, right? When it comes to these decisions, which anyone, a 6th grader could tell you, that's not a good idea, right? For them to be able to do that. You guys have any thoughts on this Axon versus FTC thing in regards to the Microsoft and ABK merger? Any thoughts on this?
I will say it's an interesting place that we find ourselves, right? You would think that when much like the UK and all these other regulatory bodies, you would think that when you bring something to them, right, they have to adjudicate it on its merits. Hey, what do we think it'll do for the consumers? Blah 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 blah. And that is the basis with which the decisions are made, right? That's where it should live. That's where it should stay. And they should do the due diligence, millions of documents being read and requests and blah 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 blah. And eventually, you get to your decision, yay or nay. and then you leave, whether you're upset or not, right? You leave knowing that they've done everything they can, and their decision was solely focused on, the merits of the case. And of course, and I live here too, so forgive me for slandering, but of course in America, it's not only it's like the NFL. It's not only getting the ball into the end zone for the touchdown. It's dragging out the stop clock. Like, what are we doing now? Right? You got to turn everything into like a weird game. So now it's like, well, we know we won't win in court because we know our case isn't real. But if we drag you out long enough, you'll run out of cash, and then we'll still be able to get what we want, which is just malicious on the face of it. It's not the sentiment of the law, and the people should be able to stand behind and go, okay, this is the righteous way of going about it, right? Like, you'll never hear that. Well, we haven't heard the UK go about it that way, and in the rare case that they do, Cat slaps their hand and sends them back and says, go do your job, right? But of course, here we are in this instance where, well, we have a shot clock. Let's wait until it runs out. How much money do you have? Well, you haven't been dealing with Microsoft, so yeah, they have more money than you, right? You know what I mean? So I don't know if this will specifically help Microsoft in the short term, because like Microsoft seems to be much further down the line. They are like, and this is related to ABK. They're basically waiting for those other reputable regulatory bodies to give them the green light. After that, they'll flip the middle finger and go, get at me, bro, with America. That's what they're gonna do. Right?
Get at me, bro, with America.
Right? That's what they're gonna do.
Let's go to federal court, baby. Let's do
go,
it. Right? Let's go.
In the long run, right? In the long run, slapping the FTC's hand about the processes they use will help everyone, right?
Right.
Let me be absolutely clear. I think that the initial goal of the FTC in halting and in scrutinizing is an altruistic goal, right? Because there have been some overreach here, right? There have been some weirdness in just letting things slide that you think, come on now, this requires a bit more oversight. This requires a bit more attention, right? And I think that since that pendulum swung so far to the right on one occasion, now they've brought people in to swing the pendulum the other occasion. But that's not the law, right? You're putting the law, the ideology of it before the actual law on the books. So you want to actually change those laws, go about it. Good luck with that, right? But they're not doing that. They're literally using all of the political and process mishigas to try and ruin certain situations rather than what should be at the center of it, which is the merit of the case. So I really hope that this goes through. I hope the hand gets slapped. I don't think it'll mess with Microsoft any in the short term because they're further along than anybody else at this point. Yeah. But at the end of the day, this will stop them from using those stupid tactics, those frankly
like abuse of
embarrassing
power,
tactics.
basically.
Yeah. It's kind of embarrassing. It's we look at all the other countries that adjudicate these things. You look at Brazil, and they dug through the details, and they came at you hard with facts. And at the beginning,
quick too.
Yes, and at the beginning, people were like, "Oh, Brazil, what are they talking about?"
Right.
And here we are. How many months down the line?
Brazil was the trendsetter.
Was spot on, and
was
they did
spot on, dude,
with the quickness, right?
Yeah.
So this BS back and forth with, oh well, we'll see, we'll push it out further. Oh well, it all needs to stop, and we need to get back to, because as a person who's lived in many different countries, America is looked at really like that shining beacon on a hill, that whole idea, right? So now whenever I travel, they go, come on, man, why? What are we doing here? Like, everyone looks at me, hears my accent, and has 21 questions about how the mighty have fallen, right? This is not how we should be looking like around the world. So I really do hope that they do that. Leave the FTC to do what they do because it's an important function that needs to be done.
I agree. Yeah.
But focus them and make sure that they know where the priorities lie, which is the merit of the case and getting to the heart of the matter as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Agreed. Very good point.
What do you think, Dave? Anything to add on to that?
Oh, just a little. Just a little bit.
Tidbit.
But no, is this going to help Microsoft in the sense that it will prevent them from dragging their feet like that they want to?
Exactly.
Because that's because they won't be able to. That's right now we're waiting.
Right.
The big thing we're waiting on which like Hoglaw and everybody else is kind of talked about this. If you get to get, God bless Hogue for coming back. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful that he's back. He was on the Iron Lords today, made a little cameo. It was great. It was so great seeing him. But the next quote unquote, I guess, deadline or date is coming up, and it's the 26th, I believe, of this month. We should hear final closure. And once that happens, the dominoes, I believe, are going to start falling. The deal's going to get done. And I think the EU maybe the next day or within the next week will drop theirs. And then it'll all be up to the FTC. And the FTC pretty much, as much as she wants to keep dragging her feet and dragging her heels, she keeps losing over and over. And she doesn't really have a leg to stand on. And I believe that if it comes down to it, I mean, at the worst case scenario, this will get wrapped up in August when it goes to their local court. But most likely, this is all going to be done before then. And I have a feeling that it's coming up sooner than later. And hopefully, and I say E3, by the E3 quote unquote time when we have the showcases, hopefully by the time the showcases.
Too soon. There's a tier. There's still a tier.
I got you. But by the time the showcase comes out, which is in, I believe it's in June, right? Yeah. That we hopefully will have this all wrapped up and behind us. And of course, Lena Khan. Oh,
he can't help himself, guys.
I can't. Even this one.
He's a radio guy. He loves pressing those buttons.
Come on, let it play. Keep going. I love that song. No, I'm sorry.
Oh goodness, don't want to get a copyright strike. But
I'm sorry.
No, you're cool. But that's, I really do. I think that that it's close to being done, and I think that this is just another step in the right direction, and another pretty much that any of their fantasies that the FTC has about holding on to this power as long as they can.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty much wrapped it up. They don't have a case. They really don't have a case to stand on.
Right.
And this was just going to try and drag it out as long as they can. And even though Microsoft, I don't believe, would do this, they technically don't have to wait. Once everything else is cleared, they can just case go and just go with it. And then the FTC kind of have egg on their face. They can still try and, but then it's going to go to a federal court, which is where the FTC doesn't want it. Because if it comes in federal court, the lawyers are going to have a field day chewing the FTC apart.
Yep.
That's what I got to say about it. There you go.
Yeah.
What do you think, RHETRI?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to harp on it anymore. I mean, you guys kind of nailed it. I think this does help Microsoft just a little bit for what you said, Dave. Just them dragging their feet, because I think that's been their entire strategy. It was the waiting game, and let's just keep them, sitting in litigation just indefinitely, forever, for years, hopefully. And I think if they get pushed back, from the government and now it's kind of like the spotlight being on Sony, right? After Sony did all the things they did, now it's FTC, F around and find out, and they're effing around, and now they're going to find out, right? The spotlight is going back right at the FTC. They've lost like 8 cases in a row. They try to get more money. They said, governments, nope, you're not getting any more money, wasting more taxpayers' dollars. They're trying to do, just have their in-house judges take care of everything. Nope. Now they're going to get in trouble for that. I think it's good news for Microsoft, and I think it's good news for possible other mergers. Because now there's like oversight on the oversight committee. So as there should be checks and balances. That's how I think these things should work in the United States anyhow. But all right, so let's move on to the next subject, and this is a good one. And that's Ubisoft Plus. Ubisoft Plus is coming to Xbox, and of course I had to put the price in there, to make a point. So, what do you guys think about Ubisoft Plus? It is coming to Xbox. Do you think Ubisoft Plus will be successful as a subscription service on the Xbox?
And put the poll up too, by the way.
Yeah, there's a poll up there. If you guys are thinking about subscribing to Ubisoft Plus, be honest. I want like honest answers. I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say about this. But Kay, what are your thoughts about Ubisoft Plus?
So to be absolutely honest with you, like I am the target audience. I can talk all the smack I want,
Yeah.
right? But if you check my stats, I have played almost every single Assassin's Creed game, and I average almost 200 hours per Assassin's Creed game, right? I've played Assassin's Creed Origins, which many people think that Assassin's Creed Origins was over the hill, right? After the Assassin's Creed 4, which was Black Flag, right? Which people loved. I didn't finish that one. But then Origins came out. They went to India. They went to Egypt. They had Bayek. I was like, oh, I'm down. 175 hours later, I'm like, oh, this was amazing. I feel full. I'm done. And then they went, well, we have Odyssey, and I'm like, 100 and some odd hours later, right? So I'm in there. And then Valhalla lost me because they started charging for things that they should be giving for free, transmog and weird things like that.
Right, yeah.
I would say, as a PC and console gamer,
Okay.
right, if Ubisoft Plus came out 5 years ago, I'd be day and date, even at this price. Because that time, they were releasing everywhere. They had so many different franchises. And this service is dual entitlement. So if you own it because there are a lot more offerings on the PC side than there are on the console side, right?
Yes.
So this one price gets you both access to both sides. So it should be my target audience. I should be the target audience.
Right. You should be the target.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, hey, I play a lot of Ubisoft games. I get it with the deluxe editions, with all the DLC, day and date.
All the DLC. Yeah.
It all sounds great. And if you really think about it, you buy one Ubisoft game, it's $60 or $70 now. You add that deluxe edition, you're talking $70, $80, $90. This pays for that. With $18, you're in there. It's just the Ubisoft of today is fashioning themselves to be a COD clone of sorts, where all of the creativity has been whittled down to a fine point, where it's all the salt mines, of this gas game and that gas game and XDefiant that sounds like a terrible company game, but by and large I hear it's actually pretty good, right? And then they've gotten rid of all their adventure games, their first person single player adventure games, which that's where I live. I love that single player adventure. Their Prince of Persia's. I actually went, a Steam sale a couple months ago, bought every Prince of Persia game on Steam for $7. Every single one of them. One bundle, $7. I'm playing through them all, right? I loved that era. At that time, if there were subscription services and you were going to offer me a subscription service, I would have loved to add it to Game Pass, right? I have a PlayStation Premium Plus Premium subscription because they're offering some interesting things there too. Not as much as on Xbox, but they are doing so, which I'm happy about, right? But honestly, the Ubisoft of today, I am not really. My wallet is not in my hand. My credit card is not out, right? The best part about this is it's great that it's an option and it's there. And if and when Ubisoft starts turning the crank and start putting stuff out, I may find myself subscribing for it to play that game rather than buying the full version of it day one.
Yeah.
But I like to be NLB, newest, latest, best. I cannot find myself in purchasing and adding myself to this mix right now. You know what I mean? They are a shell of their former self, right? When was the last time they released a good Rabbids game, like a Rayman game? Which the last Rayman game they released,
last Rayman game was
brilliant,
really good. Yeah, right? I agree.
They've lost
underrated
their
game.
way. They definitely have. And like the one way that that this thing is really sad right now is it's giving you far less value for Game Pass, but costs more than Game Pass.
Bingo.
That's the beginning and the middle and the end of it right there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of, I mean, I'm a little surprised that they came out with the same price point. I understand maybe their backs were against the corner because they already had like their $15 a month plan and their $18 a month plan. which the $18 a month plan gets you the console, the PC, and cloud through Amazon Luna. The problem is why the hell didn't they make like at least a $15 version to match Game Pass for just console only? Because I can't see this. Why would a console only person ever look at this thing and purchase it? You know what I mean? They're losing. Here's the other thing. Like the Verge basically spelt this out for me and said on the console side, for the exact same price, you're getting less. So on the console side, you're getting 60 something games, and you're getting, they said 120. It's actually more like 150. I think it's closer to 150 games on PC. You get all this other stuff for the same price. So you're literally just ripping off anyone who's just a console player. Like right off the bat, you're screwing them. Yeah. Not only are you making them pay the same price, you're giving them almost a third of the games. Yep. Like why? Like on top of that, people are bringing up some very good points in that a lot of Ubisoft games go on sale fast and they drop in price pretty quick. And I have to agree with that. I'm just go ahead, Kay. Were you gonna say something?
No. I was just gonna bring up a hypothesis that a weird thing that we were talking about, right? So we talked about this on the show a couple days ago, where it was like, you know, Ubisoft is one of the only ones now that you can imagine in the next 10 years, if they don't make a change or if they don't have a hit of some kind, they may not exist, right?
They're gone.
They'll go the way of THQ, which is very sad to me, right?
Yeah.
But like we did some light math. If you look at the actual operating income of Ubisoft right now, it's 400 million euros. Yep. That's how much they use to make their games, and their net profit is 80 million euros.
Oh.
Okay, so they put a lot in, don't get that much back, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So instead of this, let's just throw it on Xbox and see who grabs it, which would only probably be like console gamers who already have it. I mean, PC gamers who already have it, right? They would be probably the only ones that tap into it. Why not make a deal with Microsoft? They throw you operating cost bucks every year, and then you throw everything in Game Pass. That way, all your operating costs are taken care of. That's, what is it? It was $400 million. That is chump change. And they don't have to buy you. They don't have to deal with con, right? None of that.
Yeah. All right.
Right?
Yeah.
They
throw
you
Dave.
the bucks.
I'm doing nothing.
They throw you the bucks, right? You get all of that square. So then your profit is just... And by the way, you can still sell it on PS5. You can still sell it on PC. You can still do everything you do as you do today. It's just that the games come day and day into Game Pass. That would be a way better offering than what they're doing now. Because right now, I don't know a single. Well, I know maybe one single piece.
I know one person. Yeah.
I think you and I know the same.
Yeah, I think it might be the same person.
Yes, who bought in day and date. But by and large, the consumer base is just looking at it going, you know, you don't have a vault, right? Which you gave a vault to PS5. You gave them a mini vault of sorts, right?
Right.
You don't have a vault like EA Play does, right? You're expecting such a high price point, and if we look at it, there's not much coming in anytime soon. You're just asking us to pay that high price for all the old existing games, which just makes no sense. It's just unfortunate, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I just, the price point is, it's such a bad value if you do the math and you look at what you're getting for it. So I can't see many people jumping onto this. I know, I think GameIndustry.biz interview. I don't know if it was the CEO or somebody, but he's basically just making excuses for. I mean, he's already like doing a rebuttal against backlash for this price point, saying that's bad when it just came out. It just came out, and there's already an article on it about him having to defend it. Like a day later, like that's crazy to me. So I think that kind of speaks volumes in itself. I don't see many people latching onto this, but maybe I don't know. Like I agree with you, Kay. Like I could see myself like maybe getting it for like 1 month and trying to binge, But this is not a sustainable. This is not a subscription, in my opinion, that you stick with. This is a subscription you dip your toe in and you get the hell out. You finish that
next
game
Assassin's
when the
Creed,
new
baby, that's gonna be $18.
when the new hotness comes out. You know what I mean? And you're good. You're good to go. I mean, that's probably how I'm going to use it. But like going forward, this isn't the Ubisoft of the old. This is the Ubisoft of the new, and the direction they're going. And I do not like. I don't like knowing about the next 10 Assassin's Creeds. That's not good for me. Go ahead, Dave. What's up?
No. I was just gonna say we got a bunch of things to jump on. I want to make my point real quick. You have a you need to check the speak pipes there. I know there's at
I already
least
got
one
it
in
ready
there.
to go.
Okay, cool. And then but I'm closing the poll because it was so one-sided. The only thing I'm going to say about it is that at least it's an option. If somebody really likes Ubisoft games, you have access to it now through your Xbox, and that's cool.
Options.
It's not a part of Game Pass at all, so it's a separate entity. So that's and that's just the way it is. But at least to me, it's more options for people that want it. Well, eventually they try and work out a deal. I mean, they worked out something with EA, and EA seems pretty happy, and they've continued. They've continued their service with them because they've had such success.
Right.
I mean, when
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. The MLB, this is the third year we've had a Sony game in Game Pass, and I have a feeling it's probably going to be the staple from now on as far as that particular game goes. So
definitely.
those are great things for the service. That's an option, availability, and that kind of, that's kind of a growth thing. You want to go ahead and there is a couple of great. I like this one from Tony
Grasso. I'm expecting this will be a 7-hour podcast as well. No, my bladder cannot handle that, Tony. But
I think we probably got about 40 minutes left in us. I'm thinking if Kay can stay that long.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm actually worried about you there, Dave. You were sitting in the Epic real quick.
I was in there for a while, but that was okay.
Hey, Dave, if you gotta turn off the camera and go to the bathroom, brother,
stretch,
no problem.
we
got you.
The button.
No,
I'll stand up my standing desk. We're gonna do some stretches. We'll be fine. Let's go.
Let's do it. Wake up. I'll wake up. There we go. All right, but yeah. So let's play the speak pipe, and then we've got some other. Of course, you got a lot of topic stuff in the can too.
Yeah. All right. So this is Lord Master Jasper. Let me play this. Make sure it works.
From Fun Speculation Podcast.
So with Ubisoft Plus thing being called multi-access on Xbox, my thought behind it is maybe this is the starting step for their service. Like in the future, we could get it on Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it's going to be called in PlayStation. So since it's called multi-access, we would be paying for one service, but being able to access it on every platform. That's just kind of my thought. Do I think it's overpriced right now? 100%. So we'll have to see how it goes in the future, but that's just my thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Lord Master Jasper.
Thanks, appreciate it, sir.
Yeah. And the clarity in that, man, I don't know what you were using for a mic, but woo, that sounded really good. Yeah. What do you got? What do you guys think about that?
No, I think he makes a great point. I mean, right now it's just PC and Xbox, but
don't forget Luna.
Yeah, you mean the service that doesn't exist anymore? Ridiculous. Like, what are we doing?
Luna. Does anyone care? No.
Yeah, no. But yeah, he does make a point. Imagine a world, because I think Ubisoft has always been on the cusp of technology. They've always been pushing full bore. When Stadia was a thing, they were pushing in that direction. Imagine a world where they have their central servers and you're playing it on Luna, and it has your save, and actually Ubisoft does that in some of their games, where you could literally go on PC, go on console, take it wherever you go, and your save is there. It's a good idea. Right. It's an interesting idea, but that price point is still. It's all about that content, and you don't have enough to justify that price point.
Yeah. I was hoping that maybe Microsoft and them would just do the EA Play scenario and just do Ubisoft Classics. Even if it had gone to $20, I was sold on an extra $5 increase, including Ubisoft Classics. I still would have done that.
Now,
but
do you think that the tinfoil hat? Do you think that maybe that is not possible because the other service has that exact service at this point?
I think it's. I think it's
the contract.
Mm-hmm. You think because it's on PlayStation that it's stopping Classics from coming?
Mm-hmm.
That's a very valid point.
So look at that fine
Could
print.
I see Sony doing that? 1,000%.
We've seen
We
it many
know
a
they do it.
times.
Yep.
Yes. So maybe
100%,
that's
yeah.
why they didn't get their classics, because
Yep.
Sony got there first.
Because that's what was that was boggling my mind. I'm like, why isn't classics part of this? We knew it was part of PlayStation. That's a very good point. Maybe it's in the contract. And if it is, I really hope they get in trouble for that one, because we might find out about that, Kay, and then I'm going to give you your props, because that could very well be
Just
what's
a
going on here.
hypothesis. Just a,
Nah,
I'm
it's-
borrowing
dude, that's a
Everborn
great
Saga's
point.
tinfoil hat real quick.
I don't even feel like that's. I don't even think that's like that crazy. I don't think that's like that out of left field, to be honest with you. I think that you might be onto something there. But yeah. Let me just put this up. Oh, sorry. I thought you didn't
I like
want me to
this
read
one.
that, did you? What? Okay.
Read that one.
P3 Tran. Kay Asante knows his Sony stuff. Yep. Yes, he does. Absolutely.
We pay
Yeah,
attention.
Yeah. So, speaking of Ubisoft, and this is XDefiant. They're free to play shooter that everyone, a lot of influencers and whatnot are playing right now, which is getting kind of like mixed reactions too online. I'm seeing some people are really loving it, and of course, a lot of people are just not liking it. I guess it's taking from a lot of Ubisoft past titles for the characters in the games and the levels in the games themselves as well. I think it looks pretty good. Personally, as someone who likes, online multiplayer shooters, I play a lot of COD, I play Halo, play Fortnite and all that stuff. So this definitely is interesting to me, at least. But it's free to play, so it ain't part of the subscription. So, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Have you guys seen any of this? Any behind the scenes stuff, or does XDefiant, a Ubisoft online shooter, does this interest you at all, Kay?
It needs to, right? I need to get more into the community gameplay stuff. I just have little ones, so it makes my gaming time difficult,
right.
But like for its game, and shout out to the man Gerald Mack in the chat. He says it looks great. A shout out to Slow Mo Backslap. To me, he is the multiplayer representative. He plays all the multiplayer shooters, and he says it's a pretty decent game.
Cool. Good.
I've seen Doom Cutie from the Xbox Infinite podcast stream it. It looks good. It looks fun. It's just the name is stupid, and I don't tend to play multiplayer shooters.
Priceless.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. So he doesn't like the name, and he doesn't play shooters a lot. I mean, I know time is a thing, right? I know when I play multiplayer games on the weekend, a lot of times I'm thinking like, man, like I could be like 20 hours into Ghostwire Tokyo now. I could be almost done. But yeah, so I get it. Like when you play multiplayer, it's a time suck.
You
for
give
sure.
me an ability to pause. If I'm with my crew,
Yeah,
and you can
right.
turn me into a ghost while my child needs me for a moment. Maybe you got me there. Until I can pause or I can AFK for a while and not come back dead, you lost me. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Dave? Does XDefiant, the name that Kay does not like, I think it's stupid. It is it's a shitty name. I don't disagree with Kay. Like, what does that even mean? I'm defiant. 2023.
Everyone says it sounds like a name of an internal PlayStation studio.
That's funny. I like the look of it, and free to play, and had a bunch of buddies. Hey, let's all download it and play it and try it out. I would have no problem doing that. When I go out of my way to be like, okay, guys, let's get on this. We all need to jump in. No, but it looks like it might be fun, and who knows? It may be really well done. I mean, something like Ghost Recon. Those are that's the Ubisoft is my favorite. The Ghost Recon series. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how long I played that thing, and those missions and stuff going on with your buddies and having to do the tactical, taking stuff out. That's what I like doing more than just necessarily first person, everybody on everybody, or hunt your team and their team. It's just going up against the NPCs and getting missions done. I enjoy doing that. So, but that's me. But would I play it? Yes, I would try it out for sure. If a bunch of us were like, hey, let's try it out. But would I go out and way to play it? No.
Okay,
go.
fair enough. So maybe not the COD killer, as people online have been calling it. Another COD killer that probably will not be even close to a COD killer. But I do think it looks. I mean, it's nice and fast paced. It kind of reminds me of like COD or like a Titanfall almost type of look on the shooting side. So I'm definitely interested in it. I'm sure you guys won't be playing this, but I'll probably be playing the crap out of it. At least trying it, giving it its fair due
Worth a
and see.
shot.
Hey,
See if it's any good.
with all the talk that you guys have been showering on the no build mode of Fortnite,
Oh,
and the
it's
editor,
so good.
it's slowly I have it installed. It's
Ooh.
slowly
Hey,
dragging me.
All right, we might be able to, guys. You heard it here. We might be able to sucker a K into a community game night to play with us.
Read
We'll
the ticker
see.
right there. Read the ticker. See?
There you go. Discord
Community
channel,
game
community
night,
game
yeah.
nights. Join us, guys. We got some new members in there recently, and
Read and join. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
If you're like me, I
definitely
jumped
have a
on the
good
other night
time.
just to talk while they were
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah, you can absolutely. You guys don't even have to play with us. You can just join, jump in the Discord and start chatting about whatever the heck. You know what I mean? I love that stuff. You know, Dave's done it. We've had Dreadpool just randomly show up and start talking to us. It's all good. But yeah, we have a good time. So you guys should definitely join that up. But yeah, so all right, XDefiant. That's all me then, I guess. Maybe you guys too.
Got a couple more good videos down here if you want to whip on something.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm gonna mute this one, but this is a game that I think looks fantastic, and that is Immortals of Aveum. I have to mute this, guys, because we're starting to get in trouble with the strikes.
Copyright strikes for last week's episode.
Copyright strikes. Yeah,
That's
but
all right.
yeah, I mean, this game. One of the reasons, besides the fact that I think this looks really, really good from Ascendant Studios, another studio I've never heard of. Right, came out of nowhere for me. Never heard of these guys. There's over 4,000 studios out there. This is why there will never be a monopoly in gaming ever. But I think it looks pretty cool. Like there's it's magic, basically magic. People are calling it the magic COD, like where you're shooting with magic. I think it looks pretty badass. There's a lot of particle effects going on here. It's reminding me a little bit of Ghostwire Tokyo, and I'm a sucker for things that glow, obviously.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you guys thinking about this game? Have you seen the trailers for this with sound, perhaps? Kay, have you seen this at all, brother?
Yeah, I've seen this, and I'm looking at it again while you're playing the footage.
And it's got
I
dragons.
won't believe
I'm
it.
just gonna say-
It's got dragons, right? I won't believe it's gameplay until I see hardcore gameplay, because I see a lot of CG there.
Yeah, there's a
But
lot of
what I
CG
will-
here.
Yeah. What I will say though is this is by EA Origins, who the last team they picked out ended up making a game of the year, right? In what do you call it?
It Takes Two.
It Takes Two, right?
Yeah.
You didn't know who they were. Searchlight
Yep.
came out of nowhere. They were an EA Origins studio, and then bam, they struck gold with a really, really great offering. So I honestly think that whoever is finding the talent and finding the games there at EA Origins, they know what they're doing. So this is definitely something to keep. I'm going to keep on my radar. Right? People are saying that this part right here would be the gameplay. I still don't believe it. Show me controller in somebody's hand. You know, I've lived too long to see this happen.
It's reminding me of I'm with you, brother. It's kind of reminding me of Was it Outsiders? Was that the Square Enix one that came to Game Pass?
Outriders. Yeah,
Outriders. Thank you. I always mix that. I loved that game. It was very grindy, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching some of like the powers of the guy, like stuff coming up from the ground, and it's giving me those vibes. And maybe that's why I'm kind of excited about this. And thank you, Gerald Mack.
Throwing gang signs from Ghostwire Tokyo in there a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, it's got some sauce. It's good. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, visually, it's very appealing to me. Like EA Origins, like you mentioned, has helped like these smaller studios, because that's basically what it is. It's a lot like what XGS does and what Xbox does. Is they go out and they try to find talent, and they're like, hey, you know, your game looks good. You want us to publish it? You want us to you know back you up with some cash? And here we got another one. I think the last one they did was Wild Hearts. RPG,
yeah, which people really like as well. Yeah.
I didn't play Wild Hearts, but yeah, I've heard some great things about it. So
the best comparison that I've heard of this game, and for us graybeards on the panel, this is the Hexen game you've always wanted. It gives you that Hexen vibe, like back in the day with the yeah. So I'm looking forward to checking out. It's definitely on my radar. This introduction is really how they strike it. Now the question is, will it be 60 frames per second? We shall see.
It better. I got faith. EA's I think has been doing pretty dang good. That's just why. And another reason I bring this up is this is an EA Originals, which means if you want to wait, this will hit Game Pass eventually, guys. This will hit just like Wild Hearts.
Yeah.
Just like Wild Hearts will eventually hit Game Pass. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to take a good solid year at least for it to hit Game Pass, is my guess, because this completely depends on success.
Don't they also still just give you 10-hour trials on most of them?
Yes.
If not all of them, right?
Absolutely.
So
you got
10
that.
hours at first,
you get
right?
10 hours. You will get 10 hours with this one to try it out just to see if you like it. You can purchase it there, or you can wait. I probably won't wait on this one. If it's received well, I'm probably going to jump on this one personally. But yeah, so I just want to shout out Gerald Mack from being with me on the XDefiant. Gerald, we'll have to play together. Thanks for having me back.
He's boss at that that multiplayer. He's been trying to get me in. He plays VR multiplayer games. There's a game that he plays where there's a mod and it turns the whole thing. You are Master Chief suit. The whole thing.
What?
It's amazing. Like in VR.
I'm gonna have to talk to you,
awesome.
Gerald. Oh man, I don't know if I could handle. I have a tough time on like roller coasters. I think VR. I'm gonna puke. I don't know if I can handle that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mark is out there with his multiplayers. He's good.
Yeah. All right, let me remove this. So one other thing I want to bring up, and I don't know. I mean, I gotta kind of believe this. Banjo-Kazooie teased by the official, not some BS Twitter account, but the official ANZ Twitter account put out like an absolute. It was a banjo with the kazoo plus E, right? What do you guys think? Do you think this is a real thing? I mean,
an official.
Can they do that?
Xbox
Should they do that?
An official Xbox account seemed to hint at a Fable either remaster or remake that came out that was out there. It was a remaster. Like it seemed to hint at that, and then it disappeared. They apologized profusely. We've not seen hide nor hair since. So these days I kind of just go.
So you're not,
show me when
not
it's real.
Completely
people.
buying it.
You
Yeah.
know, if nothing else, I hope it's real for Mr. Boomstick.
Amen.
He needs
Right.
the burden
Yeah.
bear in his life. Come on, let's go.
You would love that. Dave, do you think there's any legitimacy to this?
I think there's somebody that was playing around in Photoshop and decided to this will be funny. Let's see what kind of hornet's nest I can stir up with this.
Oh man, I hope not. That seems like a very dumb thing to do.
Well, they've done dumb things before.
Well, yeah, like Kay said, that's a good point. I kind of forgot. I kind of actually forgot about the.
I mean, all
Fable
it's
thing
true.
that they did.
Whether it's a remaster, a reimagining, or a whole new game altogether, would be great. But maybe that's something they announce after the ABK deal is done, and they have a studio that's really good at making games like Crash and Spyro and Banjo.
Like a whole new set of teams to work with, boss. Yeah.
You mean when salt mines are let away and they look into the sunlight and Master Phil goes, "Go, do what you wish," and they go, "We want the bird and bear." We shall only hope.
I wouldn't mind it. I think I'm gonna lean on the side of it's not complete BS. Just because just for boom, I guess. I don't.
I mean, we've heard rumors of a remake or a remaster or a reboot coming from like various sources, good sources for a while now, right? Publicly, MVG. I don't know if you guys, Modern Vintage Gamer. You know, he's come out and said, "Look, it's coming. When, we don't know, but it's coming." And that man is a developer. He is, of beyond reproach his reputation. So I know it's being worked on by somebody. Like, just when,
or Master Jasper, if it's not the main Xbox account, I am not buying it, basically, is what he's saying. Okay. I mean, it is official. It's just not official United States Xbox accounts.
True,
I don't know if it matters. Like, I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. Definitely kicking the hornet's nest, like you said, and getting a lot of people excited. So, so hopefully it's a real thing. And of course, I'm not a big PlayStation guy, but I have to at least talk about Final Fantasy 16. Do you guys play Final Fantasy games? Do you care about Final Fantasy games? Do you care about anything that Square Enix does? I don't know. This is why every time people in our community bring up Square and they're hurting and Xbox should buy them, I'm like, no. we got better things to make our money on. What do you guys think?
I'll be quick with it. Do I play them? I have on occasion. I have picked up and put down Final Fantasy VII Remake a few times. It's beautiful looking. Story's interesting. Will I play this? Probably at some point. But I still think that every time they come out and they speak, they make me want to throw something. Like, we're in a hypothetical world. You know where I'm going because
I know exactly. And they just double down on it. They just keep digging. They just keep digging, man.
And digging deeper, We live in a realistic world with chocobos and dragons, but black people aren't allowed in that world because that's not realistic. Even though if you look at the facts of the matter, black folk have been there for a long time. Now, you're talking to a person who was born in Germany and lived most of his life in the Netherlands. I speak Dutch. Yep. So, I'll be honest with you, and a lot of people go, it's their ignorance. No, it's not their ignorance. It's absolutely not their ignorance because the internet has brought even like the villages in Africa where they have never seen a person that looks like your pigment. They are now coming closer and closer to all of us as we all move forward. So the idea that this company who's releasing a game to the world can get to stand on ignorance, it is purposeful ignorance. But God forbid you call it a JRPG, then they feel nonplussed.
That I'm
will
sorry.
I play it?
Maybe
I probably will. I'm a gamer, so I play all games. But I have no love lost for the company and their actions. And this is not the only one. I say Forspoken it calls in question. They do a lot of weird racial stuff in that. Don't get me started on Final Fantasy VII Remake and the shucking and jiving there. That's just me.
Yeah, I do think the combat, to talk about just on the game's merits by itself, besides the fact that this is coming from a clearly blatant racist company, and I don't give a crap. You can take that with you will. They're not even hiding it anymore.
RHETRI. He's the man.
I don't give a crap. I think the combat looks really good, but I'll probably never play this if I'm being truthful. I haven't been in Final Fantasy till from 7. And not the remake. that's how long it's been.
7. I
understand. The OG.
And speaking of that, I've heard a lot of Final Fantasy diehards say this is too far gone. This is too Devil May Cry for their liking. So because of that,
maybe that's why
has taken a lot of people.
That's why probably that might be why it is actually turning me on more than it is off, because I can definitely see more Devil May Cry in this gameplay, and I think they are taking a different direction.
The director was from Devil May Cry, so it harkens. Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
The combat director is from Devil May Cry. Yeah, so that's probably why. I hope people who play it like it. I'm not on that square of
you're not a gatekeeper for.
I think all that stuff is BS. If you're upset, you can be upset.
Yeah.
If you're gonna stand on your square,
99% of people don't even know about what the hell is going on behind the scenes. We do.
Fine.
You know what I mean?
That's fine. I just think that every time they come out, even with Forspoken, where well drawn character, 5 minutes in, every ridiculous trope in the book had been thrown at your face. And I'm just like, come on, guys. What are you trying to say here?
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
This will probably be the same way. What are we gonna do? Now they just
Yeah.
went, nope, they don't even exist. Poof. You know?
I don't mean to laugh. It's just so
No, it is funny.
outlandish.
It's ridiculous.
It's funny because it's so
Yes.
crazy to me.
Yeah.
But you know, Dave.
Yep.
Final Fantasy? Are you playing this or what? Come on,
Well,
buddy. Want
okay.
it?
Let's just say I am a big fan of the Final Fantasy series. I was incredibly into Final Fantasy 11, the 1st online game. 14, not so much. My son, my daughter, they play it all the time.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14 was announced that it was coming to Xbox, and apparently it is not coming anytime soon for the reason of Sony helping throw some money to keep it off of the Xbox, and that's what we know for sure that's happened. And
Yeah.
you know, Square Enix themselves, Final Fantasy is big in the States, and it's big all over the world, but in Japan, their Dragon Quest series is twice as popular as it is if compared to the Final Fantasy series. It's
Right.
and they do have a lot. They have the Kingdom Hearts series, and they have a lot of other good games. I like Outriders. They do
I do
have
too,
some
a
good things.
lot.
And the thing is, when Outriders came to Game Pass, Square Enix themselves said that
That
it
is
had done
success.
exceptionally well and was very successful on Game Pass.
That might
And
be
then- and then
Dave.
as soon
That
as
might be the
people can
last time
fly-
they've ever said that.
Well, but hold on now. As soon as People Can Fly say, "Where's my money?" they went, "It did not meet our expectations." and I'm sorry, I'm a little biased. I have a buddy that used to work at People Can Fly, so it was great. Oh, Game Pass did it. Where's our money? Well, it didn't meet expectations.
It did it right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's a
no,
good
I'm,
point.
I'm not defending them by any means, and I do think the comments that one developer made on 16, inappropriate, stupid, ignorant, and he needs to wake the hell up. I don't know. I don't believe that it was quote unquote translation miscommunication.
Yeah. Translation error?
I think if
They
that
have
was the
enough
case,
history, man.
they
They
probably
have
would
enough
have cleaned that up. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that part's a shame. But as far as Microsoft, they should buy them in a heartbeat. Why? Because they're
Oh,
cheap.
you're one of those guys.
Dude,
Well, yeah. Okay.
After ABK is done, Microsoft has $90 billion
I know.
of cash on hand.
And how do you kick your competitor in the teeth? You take away both of their big, humongous franchises. You rip COD away, and then you rip away the only game that used to give them identity. Oh my goodness, the salt.
I mean, the salt. Yeah, the salt would be
anemic.
overflowing.
Oh my
And
God.
they can get them cheap. I mean, cheap, and still be able to
You're
afford
not wrong.
Sega and
Like,
everybody else they want to buy.
You're
Just
not
saying.
wrong. It's just I am on the other side just because I don't care.
You don't care about their games, yeah.
I don't care about their games. So for me, like, but the PR, like, I've heard people say, like, I believe the PR of getting them would be better than probably almost anybody else.
And
Just
you know what?
just because it would piss
to your point,
so many
RHETRI,
people
though,
off.
to your point, they got rid of all their Western studios, which were also massive,
Which were the-
great.
Which were the
Were the
ones I
best
liked.
parts.
Those were
man.
they
Those are the ones I
chipped
liked.
away. They chipped away the parts that I liked about the company, and now they're down to the parts I do not like. So, but like I understand why people like say, you want to, let's get Square. Let's get Square. Well, I'm over here going, no, Capcom. I want or Sega. Fucking Square
Actually,
is so
Buy
bad.
them all.
Capcom and
buy 'em all.
Sega. Capcom and Sega right now are going, we got some money in our pocket, baby. We don't need you. We good
I
right
know.
now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it
They
might
don't.
be
I mean,
the
they
master
don't. They
plan
don't.
for some.
Well, I don't know. I mean, well, listen, Sega's got $1 billion less in their chamber apparently because they're buying
that
buying
would
the
be-
mobile,
And
the
that would
Angry
be a
Birds.
great purchase for Microsoft to add
Yeah,
to
was
the
the-
mobile collection.
They just
Yeah.
came out and said that they haven't made any decisions and they'll decide finally about Rovio tomorrow. But
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha. Yeah.
Hey, they're out there they're making their own purchases, right?
Yeah.
The Sonic money is commanding. Their recent outing in Sonic, some people clowned it, but it's the highest selling Sonic game ever made, right? As some people know, Microsoft likes them on their knees. They're not on their knees anymore.
Pause.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Pause. They're getting up. They're walking around right now. And they have new blood in there. They have like the new CEO is like the grandson of the old CEO.
That's
that whole
a
thing.
good point. I keep forgetting about that. They do have some new blood, and I think that new blood is actually going to help them.
Making
got a
different
couple quick
moves they
things
might
to-
not want to be sold. So please go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry.
Yeah.
A couple quick things to say. First of all, welcome out to Infinite Umbra, and
what's up, brother?
And also like to thank him and Daniel McGee have a great new show called The Fix. And I watched your debut episode. I thought it was great, fantastic. Little hiccups at the beginning, but hey, it was the first time. I thought they did great.
Stop that. Let's give them all the hiccups they want. This dude started day one, episode 1 with 700 subscribers. Shout out to you, Mr. Infinite,
Exactly.
He did it.
The
He
only
did
thing
it.
I gotta say, Umbra, don't forget, you have to have the 4,000 hours of view time with a channel with no videos. You're gonna need to make that up fast. So
Oh boy.
Yeah.
you just think
There
you can
is
have
that.
all you can have
Great
all
show.
the subs
It
you
was
want,
an
but if you don't
awesome
have
show.
that view time,
Yeah.
so I would be doing a lot of gameplay alongs just to have people watch your show. But other than that,
Maybe
no,
he can-
seriously, it was great.
Maybe he can do some Unreal Engine 5 videos. That might-
Hey, there you go. There you go.
There you
No,
go.
we love you, sir,
Yeah.
and fantastic.
Great brother. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
is,
very
he is.
very good show. That was a lot of fun, and Colt brought some heat in that show as well. So I like when Colt
And he helped him
you
out.
know.
He helped him get going, which was
and
nice.
he got your audio going, which is definitely helpful.
And thank you
Yeah.
to RJS fan. Great comment that you made right there. So that was
Appreciate you. I'm loving this conversation. Yeah, RSJ. We were actually I was just talking to RSJ last night about what we wanted for acquisitions for Microsoft. Like, what's next? And of course, for me, and I think a lot of people in our community agree with me on this one. For me, it's Capcom and WB, and I'm with Hargeet on this. And I ain't talking WB Gaming Division. I'm talking WBD, the whole effing thing. Think about this, guys. What if Microsoft is in charge of the Last of Us show? Oh my God, they could sink it if they wanted to.
I hear that. My only problem is I don't think Satya Nadella wants to get into a new line of business.
Probably not. It's
That's
probably
the only
not.
thing. They got the money. I just don't think
They
they want to
definitely
get
have the
into the
money.
movie and TV making business. I don't know.
I wish they would. Let
Me
you know, in that regard, let HBO run itself. Like let them do their own thing.
You mean
I
Max?
don't-
Because HBO is gone.
Max?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I'm about to say. They've gutted
okay.
all the talent.
They
in
might
that
need
place
some
now,
help
you know?
because that's just that was just dumb in itself. Like, let's take the least recognizable name and let's call that the new company instead of the one that everyone on planet Earth knows. HBO.
Almost like
Let's call it Max.
Almost like Facebook calling themselves Meta instead of Oculus. What a move!
There you go. Right. There you go. So yeah, I'm on the W. I just want Batman. I just want IPs. I just want like all those studios. I think it would be a great buy, but I'll take Capcom first. P3 Tran, if Satya wants movie business, they should buy Sony. That's true. That's true. Yeah,
They can
there-
afford it,
yeah.
but it's not
Khan
their
would go.
scale.
"Ha, ha, 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 ha."
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's a good
Oh
point.
goodness. Oh goodness.
I guess.
man.
Joe,
Go ahead.
this will be our last subject because
Okay.
you know my bladder can only handle one more, and I am not the Iron Lords. I don't know how they do what they do, but anyways, so Minecraft is out here with I don't know how best to say this, mid reviews, whatever you want to say. So right now it's a 73 on Metacritic. I know Metacritic doesn't matter except that it does. What do you guys think about this? It's weird to me because I actually heard, I even did a story of this on my own channel that we were hearing everyone that was playing it was really liking it, and then all the reviews started coming out, and some of them were really low. PC Gamer, I'm really starting to think something's up with them in Xbox. I don't know, but once again, 50 out of 100 from PC Gamer, and I think what's the other? I think Metro, who always slams Xbox, 50 out of 100. You know, sinking the score on this game. what do you guys think? I personally will go first. I don't think this is going to matter. It's Minecraft Legends. I think this could have got a 20 on Metacritic, and it'll still be probably Xbox's best-selling IP or most popular IP this year. But what do you guys think about Minecraft Legends and the score? And do you think it matters or what?
Go ahead. Okay.
Sure. I will say this is just more fuel for the fire that the consumer base and the critical community have lost touch. Right. It's happening in the movie space. It's happening in the game space. You know.
We saw it with the Super Mario. Thank you. Exactly. Super Mario. Woo, right? That division was it was a lot of points.
Right? Yep. You know, and Minecraft is going to be what Minecraft is, which is a continued juggernaut. And this game is not going to be any different. I'm excited to try it. For any olds out there who played Brutal Legend, this is literally a mode in Brutal Legend that's taken to its fullest capability. Like in the middle of Brutal Legend, this mode exists where he is commanding his fleet while, you know, it turns into an action RTS, they call it. And this game seems to be all action RTS. So if nothing else, it's going to be, you know, worth a try and interesting and all of that. But I think this, I may not be the target audience here. I will definitely give it a shot because it's a Game Pass game, right? I will try it out, but I think that, you know, the problem here is, you know, they should the critical community should be taking a closer look at the idea that, hey, maybe they're losing touch with the consumer base, because at some point, and it tends to right now just be an Xbox problem. Like by and large in the gaming community, it tends to be an Xbox problem because it's easy to dump on Xbox. Eventually, it may become a problem where folks will start to it may go too far, and people will start losing their credibility. You know, so for me, you know, Metacritic matters as you're saying. You know, it doesn't, but it does, because it's some people's livelihoods are tied to it. So you know, it does matter for that purpose, and for them, it's the most important metric. My question becomes, why do you keep giving these codes to these outlets that continuously do not have your best interest at heart? Like, why do you keep doing that? Eventually, you need to stop. You need to be a bit more judicious about who you give your codes to. Yeah. You know, so it is what it is.
I agree with you on that. Yeah. I mean, Sony, we know Sony's done it to several people that have scored their stuff, even in the 7s. They'll pull you right out of the equation. Hey, so I agree with you, Kay. I think they are
malicious with theirs, but Microsoft needs to be a little bit more aggressive with theirs, right?
I think so too. Like, you know, but I think for me, this actually is going to be the first Minecraft I've literally never tried it, and I actually thought this was kind of interesting. So I'm going to try it for the first time and see if it hits, and if it doesn't, no big deal, right? It's on Game Pass, and I'll move on and finish Ghostwire and all the other games that are going to be coming out. Redfall is coming, so there we go. Dave, what are your thoughts about this?
Well, I definitely, since it's in Game Pass, I'm going to try it because why not? You know, the thing I do like about it, that it is the Minecraft brand, and it's coming everywhere. That's not a quote unquote the Minecraft. I mean, they could have made this exclusive and not on PlayStation, but since they did make it available, I think it's a smart move. And you know, these kind of things need to continue because it is the brand that's out there, and there's probably really only so much you can do with the base game, except for make a graphical upgrade, which so they've been teasing for a while.
Open that road.
Well, no, but I mean, they've actually they already had like an upgrade ready to go and teased it, and it was like, and then for some reason it was like, oh no, we're gonna wait a little bit. And
on
there's
PC you can do it.
Yes,
on PC you can get the ray traced version. No, and it's not PC smoke. It's more like that's a question. That's a question I've had from Microsoft for a little while now. Like, why?
Especially with that IP specifically.
Yeah,
like I could maybe understand some other stuff, but
there's been talk that they have kind of like that Bungie contract that Sony has with them. There's been talk. There hasn't been real proof, but there's been talk from reputable sources that maybe that's why they're very hands off, because they have no choice but to be hands off. But it seems like they just let Minecraft just kind of, there's no optimization patch on their own console. There hasn't been forever, right? You can do so much on the PC that you could do on Series X that just is not capable of it. it's just one of those weird things. But the game is is what it is, and by and large, the hardcore who really want to take it there will play it on PC. So it seems like they've just not really paid attention to it anymore. But I do wonder if we'll ever get the truth. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're probably right.
You're fine. I just say we did finally get the answer for how you need to go about this, RHETRI. If you want to read that.
P3 Tran. Iron Lords probably use catheters when podcasting.
Man,
maybe might get some. Depends. Maybe some diapers. I don't know, and just smile and let that mother go.
So their final, I don't know how their final tally. The final tally was what? 7 hours.
7 hours. 40 minutes. 40 minutes. How?
Yeah. Felt really blessed to be on it. It was awesome.
You guys are on a different level.
Full day's work right there. That's my 8-hour work week right there.
Yeah. For most people, that's like 2 days work. Like, let's be honest, of actual work. Like, man, that is crazy. Shout out to the Iron Lords, man. Infinite Umbra, I'll give it a shot. It's not getting the most shining reviews, but 73 overall is at least a good score. I agree. I don't mean to say like 73 is bad. For me, anything personally, 70 and up. Has got my attention. Because obviously I can't trust like PC reviews. Goat reviews. Reggie just put a bucket under your desk. And I can mute my mic and hope I don't miss. That's a good
the dogs will knock it over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry puppies.
You got the dog cam. I like that. It's cool.
Yeah. So I'm streaming now. So if you guys get bored of watching me, I added in a dog cam for people who like pets. So yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, that's all I get for subjects, guys, for tonight. I don't know if there's any more chats you want to put up there, Dave.
I think looks like we're good.
Okay. And I think Lord King David is in the chat.
My goodness.
Boy.
Oh, what's up, King? How you doing, brother?
Salute to you, sir.
King, we have to play. King, and not too long ago, I got into Fortnite. And I want an invite. I want to play with you, man. So let's do this thing. I do want to bring up this funny little one. I don't know if this came up before from P3 Tran again. If Arcane Austin crunched like Iron Lords, Redfall would launch with 120 FPS mode. I mean, is that wrong?
There you go. And RHETRI, King David did answer your question.
All right, brother. We got to talk about like your eating regimen stuff because I can't do that. I drank half of this and just like a V8 and I'm ready. I got to go so bad it's not even funny. So I don't know how you're doing it, but maybe we can discuss that while we're playing Fortnite together.
Yeah, but, he did reply to you too.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will definitely add you. I actually just got into their Discord. So yeah, I know you guys just had a community game night for, I think it was Naraka Blade Point. I was hoping it was Fortnite, but next time when you guys do another Fortnite one, I'll definitely.
I'm gonna need a Sherpa for Fortnite if I'm gonna go in there. I'm too great of a beard to jump in there, but I see all the gameplay clips. It makes me want to try it.
So much fun! You should definitely join us. Galvinson plays with us all the time, and he is such a good teacher, and he's played with the Iron Lords before too. Like if you want to play with anyone, like he walked me through it. He walked RSJ through playing. We're very patient, and it's a lot of fun. So I would suggest anyone who's even thinking about trying Fortnite, that no build mode, man. I can't do the building, guys. That's why I never play. I didn't touch the game. I touched it for 1 hour. I'm like, I'm out. And then I played in the no build mode, and it's my favorite online shooter. I know I keep saying that, and you guys are tired of hearing it, but it's true.
The last thing I want to say is again. Thank you to everybody being in the chat tonight.
Thank you guys
so much for being here, and thank you, King, for stopping in.
Appreciate it.
Love you having you on this show some night. We'll talk in the future because I know you're exhausted and you got to get to bed. But we absolutely love the Iron Lords. They are
congrats on 300, man.
Exactly,
Unreal.
they are an amazing pillar of the community and what all podcasts should strive for, to being that open to that. The diversity, the camaraderie, the four of you together are
a brotherhood.
Are like the horsemen, but in a good way. You know, the four horsemen are like wrestling horsemen. Yeah, right. I love it. And man, it was such an honor to be on there tonight. And thank you guys so much. Thanks everybody for being here. Kay, please tell everybody where they can find you in the amazing Gaming Circle podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. And you know, these days I am no longer a guest. I am the imaginary third chair that shows up from time to time, and I appreciate that. I'm either on the screen or in the chat, and I
always
appreciate
welcome.
what you guys do.
That's right.
You know,
We're sending us
you can find me-
voicemails.
Yeah, of course. I love testing out that new stuff. That's interesting. I may find some more thought-provoking stuff and throw it in there for you guys at some
Awesome.
point.
Appreciate it.
You guys can find me on Twitter, TKO Asante, Xbox, PlayStation, all those places you want to find me. We actually did a really great show that I'm quite proud of over the weekend with the one and only The Fox. If you don't know this man, he's doing a lot of great engineering work. He's an engineer by trade, and he actually is really big into handheld gaming. He gets access to things that we don't get access to, and can really speak to very intricate details and why he thinks that Microsoft is actually training their developers to make handheld games for the next generation. We called our episode "The Fox and the Trojan Horse." It was a very interesting conversation. So go check that out on my channel if you can. Follow me on Twitter. I always have fun on Twitter, throwing ridiculous stuff out there and having fun with the community. But always great to be here. And as I said, either I'm on the screen or in the chat, and that's for most of our community shows. So I'm here for it. I think I'm a YouTube watcher more than I watch TV. It's what I do.
I do too.
I enjoy the community and all that. So, you know, if you find me on Xbox and you see I'm online, you know, send me a message. I like chatting with the community as well. I just tend to be a single player gamer from time to time, but I should change that. I should play more of the community stuff. So
we'll break.
You might see me online a bit more. But yes, that's that. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Our
brother.
pleasure, sir. RHETRI, tell everybody about your gaming nights and your channel as well. We love. And come on, I love it.
So under K, you can see that's the Discord. That Discord is all about just community and just gaming. That's what it's really about. I made that specifically with one focus in mind, and that was just for people to play games with one another. So please join that if you guys want to game with us. And of course, Game Pass _daily on Twitter, and Game Pass Daily on YouTube and TikTok, where I do all the Game Pass stuff. You guys know that. So please follow me, subscribe, like. And I'm starting to actually do some live streams through my Game Pass Daily channel as well. So you'll see me playing. I get made fun of because we play a lot of COD. Like, oh, RHETRI's playing COD again, and Fortnite. But so absolutely come by, say hello, and appreciate you guys. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. It was a great show. We love having Kay on here, and of course he will be back. He's got a permanent seat here anytime he wants it. So thank you, sir.
Most definitely. Again, thank you to everybody being in the chat. Thank you to everybody that joins us and watches us either on replay or live. We appreciate you more than you know. The community is a special place. It really is, and we all love gaming. We're all passionate about it. Sometimes we don't agree, and we have a disagreement. And here is a safe space for everybody to to let that, I mean, because sometimes there's places where it's like it's all or one or all the other, and here it's I prefer playing on Xbox, but I own a PC, I own a Switch, I own a PS5, and I enjoy playing games. Have for a long time.
Remember that, people, when inevitably they clip my PC MR takes and I get virtual tomatoes thrown at me. Remember that. Be nice.
It's going to be a nice clip. I promise.
I'm sure.
Well, thanks everybody for being here. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All righty. And as we wrap it up, I'd like to say again, thanks to everybody for joining us here at Gamers Council.